Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the Ram Ashram Satsang Workshop, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief introduction to this workshop. If you'll direct your attention towards the screen, you'll see that the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in this life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important element of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The satsang that you will learn today is an inner satsang where we meditate in silence. Group sessions. These workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the interactive session, the practice session, the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. And during the informative session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ram Ashram Satsang. He was born into a satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangees. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more available to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will lead us in a meditation as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Eddie. Welcome to this special International Yoga Day session. We will talk a little bit about inner yoga and how inner yoga and satsang have a lot of similarities. As we always do, the first and foremost goal for the session is to connect with peace, especially inner peace. And as we try to do that, in that process, we relax a little, calm our minds, physically rest, and meditate. And meditation specifically is resting of the mind. So it's important that in these sessions, we stop bringing further garbage in while we are cleansing our minds. And it's important that we orient our mind to stop the natural or this learned process of going all over the place, the barrage of thoughts and so on and so forth. So we want to get to inner and outer silence. And today we'll talk like how inner yoga would help that. So interestingly, I was just thinking, a while back when in Virginia, I started these sessions, I called them inner yoga sessions. And then I kind of went to, start thinking more about how do we introduce satsang as a concept of what is satsang. But essentially what we will learn today is like if we look at the core yoga philosophy and the 8-limb framework that Maharishi Patanjali described, we'll go deeper into that. and then we'll come to look at what is inner yoga. But let's start with the definition of yoga and satsang. So, Yuan, if you could bring that slide, yeah. So I see both satsang and yoga to have a common destination, or pretty much they literally mean the same. So sat and sang, which is to be with, is sang, and sat is the transcendental energy, or the positive energy, or the positive state. And so to be with transcendental energy is satsang. Now, yoga, if we translate it, it's union. So union with the transcendental energy. And, in that process, you balance the body, mind, and soul through. So that would be the definition of yoga. Now, if yoga meant that it's union with transcendental energy, then how would you be able to accomplish that through physical and breathing exercises or asanas and pranayama? So that's what we will we need to understand that aspect, why meditation is so super important to get to the right destination for yoga. All right, so Yuan, let's go to the 8 limbs now. So Maharishi Patanjali described yoga to have like 8 limbs. So if yoga was a body, there would be 8 limbs. So any variation, so basically 8 limbs become the framework through which you could define like what is yoga, in the sense that if bhakti yoga or jnana yoga or karma yoga, there are so many variations. These variations need to fit in this core 8-limb framework. If we look at this, the inner yoga part is the top part where looking inwards, meditation, or the object of concentration or manifestation, and meditation, and then higher consciousness, those 4 limbs are the meditative practices of the 8 limbs. And then, what we could call outer yoga, or asanas and pranayams, or physical and breathing exercises. And then there is the behavioral aspect, inner and outer behavior, what things we need to control, what things we need to acquire in terms of behavior, to have these 8 limbs, which would then result in the union with transcendental energy. So the goal of yoga is not to just be physically fit, or your body and breathing is well, but you have to, the whole body, mind, and soul needs to be in a place where what Guru Maharaj used to refer as our natural state of samadhi, or higher consciousness, higher awareness. So if we break this down further, so in terms of asanas and pranayams, there's plenty of information available. It's very, very important. I have started asanas and pranayams again and regularly, because I think to lead a healthy life in current culture, and where you don't have, you have to have a workout routine. Now, yamas and niyamas are the other 2 at the bottom layer, which so here there are 5 yam and 5 niyams. And if you really look at it, there are 5 things you want to give up and 5 things you want to acquire. What you want to give up is, violence, lying, stealing, dissipating energy, and, having too much of possessions. What you want to acquire is cleanliness, being content, self-discipline you want to acquire, self-study or introspection, and then surrender is another deep concept. But all these things, all I wanted to say was, if you want to, let's just take one simple thing as truthfulness. Easier said than done. Giving up anger and violence, or balancing it. You would require inner strength, which you get from meditation. So these things, so what Guru Maharaj said, that if you focus on inner yoga, which is the top 4, of the 8 limbs, you would be able to, if you are able to sit still in meditation, your asana is, you are able to, the aspect of physical exercises or having toned body is taken care of. Breathing gets regulated when you meditate. So that happens with meditation. And yamas and niyamas, which require inner strength, you will be able to tackle the lower 4 if you started with the top 4, which is the inner yoga. In inner yoga, I also wanted to talk about samadhis a little bit today, and then we'll come to the other 3 pieces, which then we will practice. So in a few minutes, we will practice inner yoga, or the way my grandfathers, who started Ramashram Satsang Mathura in 1930, prescribed this approach to reach, these samadhis through the process. So, realm of the world, eat, drink, and be merry. Obviously, there is no concept of higher consciousness at that point. The next one is realm of life, and I talk about this pyramid in separate sessions, and it's described in some videos on the YouTube channel. In the realm of life, we have just turned inwards and started the upward journey to the top of the pyramid. The only description of a samadhi or higher consciousness state, which Maharishi Patanjali doesn't agree that it is an actual higher consciousness state. It is more of a thoughtless mind without the higher consciousness aspects. So that is called Jad Samadhi, or a yogi could force to become thoughtless in the early stages, and that is not really higher consciousness. So Guru Maharaj or Maharishi Patanjali, they don't see that as a real deal. Realm of mind, which is where our practice starts, or satsang practice actually starts at the realm of mind. So these 5 steps, or 5 realms: realm of the world, realm of life, realm of mind, realm of knowledge, and realm of love. These 5 are described as Panchkosh in the Upanishads in ancient times. A lot of people have described this in multiple ways in recent times. So this is a model of moving from being completely worldly or materialistic to the top of the pyramid, where you have deep light, love, and peace within you. So realm of mind, there are three states which could be referred to as, higher states of the mind. Basically, I also talk about these three states in a video. Essentially, there are three energies, positive, negative, and a blend of these two. And based on that, Satraj and Tham, you get these three states pretty early in meditation that you will practice shortly. So one state is where you close your eyes and you feel really, the light, the energy, you feel the presence, you feel connected. After the meditation, you feel you have really, you had a great session, you talk about it, and you remember the experience as a good experience. And so that's driven by positive energy. But then there are days when you don't want to meditate, you meditate, and my mind is like, you close your eyes and it's more darkness, more lethargy, and so negative energy has taken over. But those days also you have to meditate to cut through that phase. So that deep, dark, negative energy-based state in the realm of mind is, could sometimes last. And people think that it's not so good, I'm not able to meditate, and so on and so forth. But these are just phases that you have to go through. And the third one, which is the blend of negative and positive, where there is motion. So you close your eyes and some kind of movie of thoughts, pictures, images, and various things which you have little control on happens during the meditation. And again, that could be short-lived or could last for several weeks, months, even. So yeah. But then in the other two top realms, which are also, the three realms at the bottom are lunar realms, where we don't have a light of our own. Realm of knowledge is where the light appears, and where you have two states that Maharishi Patanjali describes, Savikalp and Nirvikalp, and where you actually do start seeing where samadhis, where higher consciousness, higher awareness kind of brings you to a state where you have no thoughts of thought-free states. But in one, you are aware of things, and in other one, you're like completely, thought-free. Then there are two other deeper states in the realm of love, Shunya and Mahashunya, where, even that, the awareness also goes away. And like it's almost like a being in a complete and total void, and only the energy and love remains. And beyond that, what Guru Maharaj describes is the ocean of peace, or also Kabir Das ji describes that as Sahaj Samadhi, where everything you do is, contributing to this love, light, and peace for yourself and others. So you are in a state which becomes extremely infectious. So everyone who comes in contact with you, feels the presence, feels connected with this energy, as well as, becomes peaceful without any effort. So now, how do we get there is the question. So for that, let's get to the core definition of inner yoga, or the four limbs, where samadhi is the fourth one. But then we have to do these other three to get to this. So Yuan, if you could bring the inner yoga slide. And this, before we go to that, I think Maharishi Patanjali describes Yogaschit Vritti Nirodha as the definition of yoga. So yoga is the, stopping the fluctuations of the mind, or, where there is even the ripples in the subconscious, stop in terms of the waves, thought waves. That is when yoga really happens. So that's the top of the pyramid that we were looking at. Yeah. And now let's, inner yoga is described by Guru Maharaj, who founded Ramashram Satsang Mathura, emphasizes 4 out of the 8 limbs as described by Maharishi Patanjali. The 4, so inward orientation. So now we will practice this, because it's all about practicing, how you imbibe the transcendental energy, so that the union with the transcendental energy happens, and these higher consciousness states, the limb 8, samadhi happens. So for that, inward orientation, concentration, and meditation leads to that. So inward orientation, so if we practice, basically, we sit in a still posture and eyes lightly closed. So now we're closing our eyes to look inwards rather than outwards. Part of, core meditation here is to, instead of getting into an activity, instead of, trying to find something outside, we're like looking for peace and this energy inside. So eyes lightly closed, relaxed posture. So stillness of the body is also extremely important. That's why asanas and pranayams are so important. That to meditate well, you need to have a toned body and breathing. But it's a catch-22 in the sense that meditation also leads to regulated breathing, lower BP, and so on and so forth. So, it helps to lead a healthier life anyway. So now we're getting into the meditation. So inward orientation is the first step, where still posture, because every time body moves, your mind moves with it, and eyes lightly closed, so we're looking inwards. Now, what do we concentrate on? That is where most of the meditations differ. Typically, chanting mantras, and some activities where, you would concentrate your mind on. But here, Guru Maharaj said that becomes, a longer road, because that's the second realm of life. Instead, if you want to go step up, realm of the mind, concentrate on, art of doing nothing. So we concentrate on the transcendental energy, we don't get into any activity as such. So, so basically, we concentrate on the presence of transcendental energy in form of light right here, right now, with us, in front of us, and in form of light. And that light is entering our heart and distributing throughout our body, and we're becoming completely and totally immersed in this light. So if we look at the yoga or satsang, where we are in union with, or we are in company of this transcendental energy, we presume that we're there. That is our manifestation. That's our object of concentration. So we are presuming that we are in the state of union with this transcendental energy. So we're manifesting it. And when we go deeper into that, we are in deep silent meditation. So we'll start with music and do the first two things to start with: inward orientation and concentration, or focusing our mind on this thought and this thought alone, that we are in the presence of this transcendental energy in form of light. It's entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming completely and totally immersed in this light. And as we go deeper into this manifestation, during deep meditation, we forget about who we are, where we are, and that leads to a higher consciousness state. So again, we will start with this meditation with inward orientation and focusing on this observation or manifestation of this transcendental energy. We'll start with music to help the concentration, then music will fade away, and we will go into deep silent meditation on transcendental energy. All right, so I'll just repeat one more time, and then we'll get into the music. We'll continue the meditation. So still posture and relaxed posture, where we do not move for the time of the meditation, for the period of meditation, eyes lightly closed to focus inwards. And then we feel the presence of this transcendental energy all around us, here and now. And that energy is entering in form of light, is entering our heart, eliminating it, and then it's getting distributed throughout our body to every nook and corner. And this energy is, we are getting completely and totally immersed in this energy and becoming the energy. And if mind wanders away, again, inward orientation. So mind wanders away, we realize it. We just, go back to this thought and this thought alone, that we are in presence of this transcendental energy in form of light that's entering our heart, and then it's getting distributed throughout our body, and we're getting totally immersed in it. Let's start now. Yeah. So this part is your part where we can, talk about any comments, questions, sharing of any thoughts, generally how the session went, or any questions around inner yoga. Mohit? Yeah.
Namaskar, we are back by mistake. Yes.
Right. So Teresa, Jeff, or Eddie, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'd just add that I'd recognize today International Yoga Day, and I'm thankful for it because it's something that we need. I think much of our time during the year we spend in pursuit of things that don't make us happy, like fame and power and such. And on this day, um, we take time out to say that these things don't necessarily bring us happiness, but the ultimate goal in life is to achieve yoga, right? I mean, that's where happiness is, as you explained. As we ascend the pyramid, we become happier until we achieve the ocean of bliss, which is our ultimate goal. So I'm just appreciative that we have this day to remind everyone in the world that we we have work to do, and that the real goal in life is not so much in our everyday activities as we practice them now, but is in achieving yoga.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, interestingly, the more I think about it, I mean, just the asanas and pranayams, I mean, they're all very worth it. I had some upper back issues, and I got the right guide and did some, yoga, and, got better. But that's just one part of it. The inner yoga is where, which I think is the real deal. Without the meditational aspect, the 8 limbs would not complete, and the destination, the real destination of yoga is the union with the transcendental energy. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Anyway. All right. Any other comments, questions? All right, then. It's a weekday here, so I would say, so, every Saturday, 10 a.m., same time, we have these sessions. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, so 10 a.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern, Saturdays and Tuesdays. And so July 1st, we have a special session in person as well and online. So looking forward to that. Vienna, Virginia, Vienna Community Center. So All right. Have a good week ahead, and we'll see you here soon. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you, Sanjeevji.
Namaskar. Bye now.